Imagine this. You're absolutely at the top of your game, the undisputed queen of your event, right? Every movement, every leap over those hurdles, it's like poetry. You've smashed records people thought would never fall. Olympic golds. Almost routine. Now picture stepping away from that. Not forever, maybe, but for a bit. Trading that rhythm, that technical dance, for some raw, brutal almost. A flat-out sprint. No barriers, just pure punishing speed. That's exactly the journey we're seeing with Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone right now. And today, we're doing a deep dive into not just what she's doing, this huge leap into the flat 400 meters, but why it matters so much, and what ghosts from the past she might be chasing, and why everyone in athletics is talking about it, and the stage for all this. The World Athletics Championships in Tokyo. That's December 27th to October 6th, 2025. It's going to be electric.
Oh, absolutely. Electric is the word. And what really gets me is just the sheer audacity. We're talking about someone who hasn't just won. She's completely redefined her main event. So to willingly step into a totally different challenge, one that asks for different skills, a different kind of pain, that's more than just chasing medals. It's about pushing your own limits, right? It's like once you've mastered your own playground, the real test becomes how else can you grow? It's strategy, sure, but it feels deeper than that.
That's a really powerful way to look at it. So, okay, let's set the stage properly. Let's zoom in on what she's already done. Most people know her name, but the level of dominance in the 400 hurdles, it's actually staggering.
It really is. We're talking about a true phenomenon. She's only 26, and she's already rewritten the history books. It started so early, too. Remember her bursting onto the scene?
Oh, yeah, the high school kid going to the Olympics.
Exactly. Qualified for Rio 2016 at just 16 years old. 16. She was the youngest U.S. track athlete to make it since, like, the 1980s. That tells you something right there. Generational talent.
And it wasn't just a fluke, right? She didn't just show up. She started taking down records, like systematically.
Systematically is a good word for it. By Tokyo 2020, which is in 2021, of course, she ran a world record 51.46 for the gold. But she didn't just plateau there. It's like watching an artist constantly refining their work. At the 2022 Worlds in Eugene, she broke 51 seconds for the first time. 50.68, which is incredible.
Under 51, wow.
And then Paris 2024. On her 25th birthday, get this, she defends her Olympic title with 50.37, a jaw-dropping time.
50.37.
And she didn't just win, she beat her own world record again and finished 1.5 seconds ahead of the silver medalist.
Okay, hold on. 1.5 seconds in a 400-meter hurdles final. Is that normal? How significant is that kind of gap?
It's absolutely massive. Not normal at all. In a race decided by hundredths, 1.5 seconds is an eternity. It's like lapping someone in a shorter race almost. It shows she wasn't just racing the field. She was purely racing the clock, racing herself. The numbers back it up. She's broken the 400 hurdles world record 6 times now. 6
Good times.
Owns 7 of the top 10 fastest times ever run. And she hasn't lost a major hurdles race since 2019. 4 Olympic golds, Diamond League wins piled up. Yeah, the trophy case must be pretty full. She's already cemented herself as maybe the greatest ever in that event.
Just amazing dominance. Which brings us back to the big question. If you're that dominant, what's left? Why make this switch? What's the risk in stepping away from that comfort zone?
It's a huge risk, no question. The flat 400 meters, it's a different kind of monster. It's just a quarter mile of pure, sustained lactic acid agony. There are no hurdles to break up the rhythm, It's just relentless output. It demands a different type of pain tolerance, different endurance.
So why do it?
Well, it seems like a mix of things. Strategy, definitely, curiosity, and just that fire that elite athletes have, right? That need to keep pushing. After Paris, she took some time off, recharged with her husband, Andre Lebrun Jr., did some thinking. And then with her coach, the legendary Bob Kersey, they decided, okay, time to add another tool to the toolbox.
Expand the toolbox. I like that. So it's not abandoning the hurdles, but adding this other dimension. But trading that technical race for this raw sprint, does her hurdles background actually help in the flat 400? Or is it a completely different skill set?
That's the really interesting part. Her hurdles work definitely gives her amazing speed endurance, that strength to finish hard. That's huge for the 400. But the technique is different. Running the curves smoothly, managing the lactic acid buildup from the very start without those mini recoveries over the barriers, it's subtle, but different. She actually said it herself. She wants to be a complete athlete. Hurdles gave her everything, but running flat forces you to trust your speed, no excuses. She admitted it's uncomfortable.
Right.
But that discomfort, that's where the growth is, she believes. And we're already seeing it pay off this season.
Yeah, she came out strong, didn't she?
Kicked off 2025 with a bang, really. Prefontaine Classic, Eugene, July 5th. Hayward Field, where she's done so much damage in the hurdles. Even in chilly weather, she runs 49.43, a season's best right away.
And that wasn't even the main event, was it? That was just getting started.
Exactly. Fast forward a bit to the U.S. Championships. Back in Eugene, August 2nd, she just blew the field away, dominated.
Party time.
48.96 seconds. Blistering.
Wow. Okay.
That's just 9/100ths of a second off Sonia Richards-Ross's American record, which has stood since 2006. So
Yeah.
that punched her ticket to Tokyo and basically announced, hey, I'm serious about this flat 400 thing, really serious.
48.96. So she's already knocking on the door of the American record.
Yeah.
But there's an even bigger ghost she's chasing in Tokyo, isn't there? A record that stood for, well, for decades.
Yeah, this is where it gets really historic. We're talking about the world record, the 47.60 seconds set by Marita Koch.
From East Germany.
Right. Back on October 6, 1985, at the World Cup in Canberra, Australia, Koch was, well, he was a machine in the 80s. 16 world records, Olympic gold in Moscow, 1980. That 47.60 was run on a super fast track, and it just stood there for 40 years.
40 years, that's just an eternity in track and field with all the changes in training, tech, everything.
Yeah. It really is. And, well, here's the complex part, right? That record comes with a shadow. The East German state-sponsored doping program from the 70s and 80s. After the Berlin Wall came down, documents came out showing widespread steroid use, specifically mentioning oral Turinabol for athletes like Koch.
Okay.
Now, Koch herself never failed to test. The testing just wasn't there back then to catch it. And she maintains her innocence, but that cloud, it hangs over those performances.
So breaking this record wouldn't just be an athletic feat, it would carry this extra layer of significance, wouldn't it? Almost like reclaiming the standard for a clean era.
That's exactly how many people see it. If an athlete today, under rigorous testing, could break 47.60, it would be monumental. It sort of resets the benchmark, you know?
Yeah.
Shifts the narrative back to pure talent and hard work. And the challenge is immense. No woman has run under 48 seconds outdoors since Koch. Getting under 49 is still incredibly rare. That 47.60 feels like Mount Everest, especially considering wind track conditions.
Right.
So if Sydney, or anyone really, were to break it now, it wouldn't just be a record. It would feel like a statement, a really powerful one.
It's an incredible historical target.
Yeah.
But okay, let's bring it back to Tokyo, September 2025. She's not just running against the clock or history. She's facing a field that is absolutely loaded with talent.
Oh, it's stacked. Seriously stacked. The women's 400 flat at these Worlds is going to be fireworks. You've got the reigning Olympic champ, Marileidy Paulino from the Dominican Republic. And remember, Paulino actually beat Sydney in the flat 400 in Paris a couple of years back. Ran a masterful 48.10.
Right, I remember that race. Paulino's finish was incredible.
Exactly. And Paulino's already run 48.89 this season in Rome. She's incredibly fast and tactically very smart, a huge threat.
Okay.
Then there's Salwa Naser from Bahrain, the 2019 world champ. She had that suspension for missed tests, which cast a shadow, but she's back and running fast. Ran 49.111 in Brussels just recently. She's definitely in the mix.
Two huge names already.
And you can't count out others. Poland's Natalia Kaczmarek, she ran 48.97 this season, consistently strong. Levi Nielsen from Great Britain is another one. Really tough competitor. Honestly, the final on Thursday, September 28th. You might need to run sub 49 just to get on the podium. Maybe even faster to win gold.
That's insane pressure. So for Sydney, coming from hurdles, how does she strategize against runners who spent their whole careers perfecting this specific race rhythm?
That is the million-dollar crown, isn't it? She has the raw speed, the endurance, but she needs to execute perfectly. Find that balance between her power and the smooth, sustained effort the flat 400 demands. Avoid the slight rhythm changes hurdles naturally create. Her own mindset seems spot on, though. She said it's not about the record first, it's about racing smart, pushing herself, and letting the time come if it comes.
Yeah.
She said, those come when they come. It takes time, a lot of learning. That shows respect for the event, for the process. It's not just about brute force.
And beyond the times, beyond the medals, what makes her story so compelling, I think, are the layers beneath, the person behind the incredible athlete.
Absolutely. And that story starts with her roots, right? Born August 7th, 1999, raised in Scotch Plains, New Jersey. Track is literally in her blood. Her dad, Willie, played semi-pro football. Mom, Mary, was a track standout. Her brother, Taylor, also ran hurdles, won a silver at World Juniors. It was kind of destined.
So track was always there.
Yeah.
But the hurdles specifically, how did she land on that?
It's a great little story. She actually started out playing soccer. which probably helped with that agility, that footwork you see.
Ah, okay.
But she switched to hurdles in middle school, and she said she was drawn to it because it was the one event where she wasn't immediately the fastest. She had to think, react, explode. It challenged her differently.
It tells you a lot about her mentality, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Seeking the harder path, almost.
It really does. And grounding her through all of this is her faith. She's a devout Christian, often talks about Proverbs 3.56, trusting in God. Says it helps her handle the immense pressure. And she's shown resilience, too. Remember, after Rio, she finished 5th, still amazing for a 16-year-old. But then she moved to Coach Kersey's group at USC. And that's where she really blossomed into this dominant force. She's dealt with injuries, too, like a hamstring issue that messed up her flat 400 plans in 2023. But she always seems to come back stronger.
That resilience is key. And it sounds like she's building a life outside the track, too, not just defined by running.
Definitely. She's got her memoir, More Than Gold, endorsements like with Nike. She advocates for mental health awareness in sports. She's building a platform. And her marriage to Andre Levrone Jr. seems like a huge anchor for her. Her reset button, as she calls it. She says he's her biggest fan, but also her toughest critic. They pray together, run trails. It keeps her grounded.
That balance seems crucial. So when we step back and look at this whole picture, what does Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone's journey mean for us watching? She seems to have this rare combination, right? Absolutely relentless competitor, but also somehow relatable.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it's just about fame for her. It feels like she's genuinely chasing, well, the best version of herself.
Exactly. And that's maybe the final thought to leave people with. Whether she gets that 47.6 years world record in Tokyo, whether she wins gold or not, her willingness to leave her comfort zone, to challenge herself in a completely new way, that's powerful. It kind of makes you ask yourself, doesn't it? What are the hurdles in our own lives that we've gotten really comfortable clearing? Are we maybe avoiding a different kind of challenge, a flat track somewhere else, where we could really test our own raw potential, our own capacity for growth in those uncomfortable places? Something to think about, maybe.